Hi all, welcome back to the Informatica tutorials video. So in this video, I'm going to cover the filter transformation, okay, why this is used and some basic like interview questions also will cover. And there is one of the session level property, okay. So what basically filter is nothing but like in SQL, we have a where clause, right? So for example, this is a particular where condition, okay. So if we just do select star from employees, so we'll get 107 records, all of this. But if we apply some filter like where clause, we'll get only the specific rows. So here in this case, we'll get only the data of department ID equal to 100. Okay. Similar logic we can apply in Informatica Power Center. Okay. For that, let me just delete this one and create a new one for you. Okay. In the first video, we have seen how to create a basic mapping. Now here after creating your source and target definitions, so we can start performing the more operations on the transformation side. So at the top menu bar, select the transformation menu, then click on create, press F on your keyboard, or you can just select drop down and then select filter transformation. Name the transformation like F underscore. So since we are applying condition on department ID, so I'll just write F underscore department ID. So give some name which has some meaning to the transformation. Click on create and done. Okay. Now drag this in between this source qualifier and the target transformation. Okay. Right click source qualifier. Since we need to connect with the filter transformation, right click, select all the ports. Okay. Link with the filter. Right click, select all, link with the target. If you do not link, the mapping will get invalid. Fine. Then double click on this transformation, filter transformation, go to properties. So if you see here, the filter condition by default will be true. So true means it will pass all the rows, like all the 107 rows will get processed without any filter condition. Okay. If you instead of true, if you say false, it will block all the rows. Okay. It will not pass any rows to the target transformation or target table. Right. But in our case, we have to apply a condition on department ID column, or here in Informatica, we can say port. How do we apply? Go to ports here, select a particular column, then say is equal to 101. Okay. You need to validate this condition. Expression passed successfully. It means there are no syntactical errors in the given condition. If there are some errors, it will show up here. Okay. Click on OK. Click on OK. Apply the condition. Okay. Fine. So our filter condition is ready to be used. Filter transformation basically. Then what is the next step? As usual, go to mappings, validate the mapping. The message will come in the below canvas. The mapping is valid. Then save the mapping with Control S. The mapping is updated. Okay. So in the previous session, we had created one session called as S underscore load EMP. Okay. Now we have modified that mapping. So we need to refresh this particular session. So right click on that, then say refresh mapping. Okay. And then hit Control S. If you are watching this video for the first time, then go back to the Informatica basic mapping creation video where I have shown you how to create the workflow and the particular session as well. Okay. Double click on this session, go to the mappings tab, go to the target. So as I told you, I'm going to show you one property, truncate target table option. Okay. So you need to tick this option because we are using the table, the core table, which already has some data. Okay. This data is already present, but before processing, we need to make sure that this data gets deleted and new data gets inserted again. Okay, for the particular department ID. So, and then select this option, then apply. Okay. Do Control S. So your workflow is updated. As usual, right click on the canvas and then say start workflow. Go to the workflow monitor. If you see the session is running, workflow is completed. Okay, so but it has not loaded any records. So let's see why it has failed to load any records. Okay, how do we debug that? First, check our filter condition. Department ID equal to 101. Go to the mappings tab. Check if there anything wrong is there. So table got truncated, but there is no data loaded in this table. So we have to debug. Okay, how do we debug that? Just check what is there in the session, what is happening basically. In session log, it will show what queries are getting fired. Okay. So this is the SQL source qualifier instance where it is fetching all the records from the HR table, HR.employees table. Okay. So output rows 107, rejected, affected rows 107 for source qualifier, but no data is loaded for the target. So go back and make sure our condition is correct. Yeah, so if you see here, the department ID 101 is not present. Okay, so there was no data loaded. So let us change the filter condition to have a valid department ID, that is 100. Validate it. Click on OK, apply, OK, save the mapping. Okay, make sure truncate target table option is selected already. There are no changes at the session level, but we have to refresh the mapping first, then save it, right click, and then start the workflow. Okay. So let's see what happens now. Okay, so now 6 records got inserted. So you understood if the fall, I mean, if there are no records matching with the filter condition, it will simply ignore all of them. Okay, the remaining records as well. Let's check in the target table. Let's go to the core schema. So if you see, the 6 record has been inserted in the EMP underscore TGT table. Okay. So in interview, basically what they ask around this transformation, like, can we pass the multiple conditions in the filter transformation? So the answer is yes. Using this logical and or operators, we can pass the condition. So let's check whether it's working or not. So we'll say department ID is equal 100 and same condition will apply in Informatica, and let us say manager ID is equal to 101. Okay, so it will fetch only one row in that case. it has to be underscore. So make sure you're giving the proper syntax. Okay, it should fetch only one row and insert into the target table. Same condition will apply here. And go to ports, select manager ID is equal to 101. Validate the X. Click on OK, apply OK. Save the mapping. Go to workflow manager, refresh mapping, save it, right click and run. So since we did selected truncate target table option, it will always truncate the data before loading. So if you see it read 107 rows, the throughput is 107 rows per second and it inserted only one row. Okay, let's check in the database. Select star from. So earlier there were 6 rows. Run this query. See, only one row got inserted now based on the filter condition. So this is being asked common question when you start giving interviews, they'll ask, okay, because one condition everyone knows, but can we pass the multiple condition? Yeah, the answer is yes. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Okay. Happy learning. Bye bye. Take care.